What's up, your title holders back, and happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody with my second to last WrestleMania review in 31. And after this, we 32, and that's it for the WrestleMania reviews for 2022. Till next year. Another good WrestleMania, like 18 and 28. But this WrestleMania was overrated. Anyways, March 29th at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, California. There were 76 people. Well, 976 attended, disputed. Because WWE doesn't. Well, we'll talk about when I get to 32, that is. This was the second WrestleMania when the WWE Network launched. So yeah. Yeah. Like I said before, this WrestleMania was good, and the man was near the end of it was why people look at this WrestleMania in a good way. So yeah. But yeah. So this WrestleMania was all in the daytime, and I think it's on the West Coast, started at 4 o'clock and didn't end until like, I don't know. Anyways, we're not talking about that. Anyways, so yeah, let's talk about Mania 31, and then maybe Sunday I'll do 32 for the last WrestleMania review, and I'll be back. I'll do my 2008 year in review again after this. So yeah. First off we started with a ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship. The next WrestleMania we'll talk about was 32. That started with the ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship again. Daniel Bryan defeats Bad News Barrett, Dean Ambrose, Dolph Ziggler, Luke Harper, R-Truth, and Stardust, who was Cody Rhodes, by the way. And there's like reports that I don't know if he'll ever come back to WWE. Like, but then again, CM Punk came back to wrestling last summer. So yeah. This was a good ladder match. There was a cool spot where Luke Harper powerbomb Ambrose through the ladder, but the JBL guy is confusing. He said something about Luke Harper suplex and Stardust, Rosewood. Luke Harper powerbombing himself. I don't know what the hell was JBL talking about, but yeah. Unfortunately, this week didn't run his last WrestleMania match until 3 years later. Yeah, 3 years later. Because the following February he had to retire, and we're not going to talk about what he did after he came back to. Let's just ignore that. I give this an 8 out of 10. It was a good ladder match, but yeah. Anyways, Randy Orton defeats Seth Rollins. Babyface Orton, no. But this will not be the last time we'll see Seth Rollins on this show. So yeah. This feud was not. It was just this feud just only lasted to, well, before Survivor Series 2014 till Payback 2015, and yeah, Rollins won that feud, thank God, and they had a bad match at Extreme Rules in that cage. I did not like that match, because the RKO got banned, but Orton broke the rule when he RKO Kane, and when he was the gatekeeper, and yeah, that was a terrible match. This was actually better than that match. So yeah, this match, WrestleMania 31's match, was better than this match. And the best part was when the finish, when Randy Orton Well, Rollins was going for another curb stomp. This was before they banned it until they unbanned it like 3 years later. He was going for it. Randy Orton, I don't know how the hell he was able to do this, but he lifted him without his hands and then hit him with an RKO. That was actually a cool spot. Yeah. Again, this will not be the last time we see Seth Rollins on the show. Spoiler alert. 7 out of 10. And, I mean, this was a great match, but the wrong person won, in my opinion. This was a no disqualification match between Triple H and Sting. This match was good. It started back at Survivor Series when Sting debuted in WWE and helps Team Cena win, but then we're not going to talk about what happened afterwards. So yeah. But then the Authority gets and then at Fastlane they did that whole face-to-face thing, and that set up the WrestleMania match, and yeah. I mean, this was, if you like to see smoke and mirrors, this was the match. Like DX come out, like Road Dogg, X-Pac, and Billy Gunn came out, and then Shawn Michaels came out of nowhere, like towards the middle of the match. And then the NWO came out between Hollywood Hogan, Kevin Nash, and Scott Hall, who, like I said, I mentioned in my 2K22 review, who passed away last Monday, and shame, man. It's a shame we lost him. Let's not talk about it. Nash was in the Hall of Fame at this time around 2015. He got inducted, so yeah. But I did not like that the Triple H won. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've always been a fan of Triple H. And Sting, like I mentioned before, in my Star King 97 interview, I met the guy before WrestleMania 37 last year. Yeah. Which, right here. This is when that was last year. Yes, that's when I said, but 8.5, probably the best match on this show, but yeah, and this would not be the last time we see Triple H either, which we'll talk about right after the United States Championship match, because we'll talk about that later. And then a piss break tag team match between AJ Lee, who will be gone for good for WWE because CM Punk left in 2014, and Paige defeats the Bella Twins, and just a piss break match. I'm doing a 4 because it was actually better than the one from the Rumble in 2015, which that was 2 months ago. So yeah, AJ will be gone because in WWE and just never come back. Yeah. Anyways, then we have for the United States Championship, John Cena defeats Rusev. I think this match was just okay. Not the best chemistry between Cena and Rusev. I mean, Cena and Owens had better chemistry. Or the following year, Cena and AJ Styles, great chemistry. But Cena and Rusev, not the best chemistry, I'm sorry. And Cena wins the United States title because, 11 years prior, WrestleMania 20, he won his first United States title. Here, he wins the United States Championship. And it starts the whole U.S. Open Challenge thing, and, yeah. I get a 6. Okay, now let's get to the segment. Triple H and Stephanie McMahon were announcing the attendance, and it said the Authority always wins. You're gonna find the following year the Authority dies for good at WrestleMania 32. And then they were just glowing around. Then The Rock came out, big pop, and they talk. Stephanie slapped The Rock for like the 98,000th time, more than whole sport. No, let's not talk about that yet. And then The Rock leaves the ring, and who was at the front row? Who was on the front row but Ronda? Who was at the front row of the crowd? Ronda Rousey. And there was another person who will be a future. Who is that other person who is in WWE right now? Yeah, Shayna Baszler, who was in the. Yeah, because 5 years later, she loses the Becky Lynch at WrestleMania 36, or Quarantine Mania 36. Because that was when the whole pandemic happened, and, yeah. And I was like, oh god, no. And I was like, oh wait, this was before 3 years later. This is when the segment tanked. And yeah, Triple H by the following year, go back to my Royal Rumble 2016 review, won the WWE Championship. Well, I'll talk about what we did to WrestleMania 36. Yeah, Triple H got brought down by Ronda. The same woman who overshadowed Asuka's moment at the Royal Rumble 2018. And the same person who ruined the TLC main event that same year. Here's a bold prediction. She better not win the SmackDown Women's Championship at WrestleMania. If she does, I'm gonna be pissed. This segment was just. This whole segment just dragged. It went from. This segment went downhill after that. It's one of the main reasons why I don't like Ronda Rousey. Anyways, Undertaker defeats Bray Wyatt. This was right after the streak ended, and honestly, Brock Lesnar should not have been the one to do it. But this match, like Cena and Rusev, is just okay. But yeah, the best thing about it was when Undertaker set out when Bray Wyatt does his spider walk or whatever. Undertaker will be. This will not be the last time we see Undertaker in 2015 because he redo his feud with Brock Lesnar, which, yeah. 5. This WrestleMania was. But anyways, now we get. Well, let's get to the first portion of the main event, which is for the WWE Championship between Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, where we're gonna see it again. I'm done with this. I'm done with this bullshit. It should have been Roman versus AJ, which, 2K22 when I got it, that was like the first match I did was AJ versus Roman Reigns. But you already saw that review. And by the way, that Ronda segment was, I feel like I got electrocuted by a ghost. If you don't get that reference, you're not a Danny Phantom fan. Danny Phantom fan, my bad. But yeah. So this match, it's just your typical Brock Lesnar Roman Reigns match. Suplex City, F5, Superman Punch, if see this before in SummerSlam 2018, WrestleMania 34, Crown Shit 2021. It's literally but I'll give this match credit. This was the first time Brock and Roman fought off. But the whole story, there was just Brock being absent and Roman they teased him right being in the main event again, and you already know. But yeah, after the fourth F5, Rollins comes down, cashes his money in the bank, and wins the WWE Championship by pinning Roman Reigns. So, now I'll give this credit. This was, to me, their only good match, which is kind of sad to look at. WrestleMania 34, horrible. The SummerSlam match was better than the WrestleMania match, but not that much. The two starting matches, fuck off. And I don't think the WrestleMania 3 match will be any better, because it's going to be worse than their 34 match. But I give this a 7.5 out of 10. And Seth Rollins, the heist of the century. Michael Cole said that Seth Rollins was the heist of the century. Yeah, that was a really good call from Michael Cole. So yeah. So WrestleMania 31, good WrestleMania, but I only give it a 7.5 out of 10. I know a lot of people give this the best rate. This is my opinions. But again, WrestleMania 20 was the last great WrestleMania, which I did that last year, don't forget. But anyways, so yeah, 7.5 out of 10. Last WrestleMania review, week 32. So yeah. Yeah. WrestleMania 32 will be probably on a Sunday, perhaps. I don't know. Bye. And I'm on the 50 subscriber list. So yeah, 50 subscribers. I'm on the road for 50 subscribers. And happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone. And bye.